As you gain more experience using Blender, you will find that many of the tools can be activated from different locations within the Blender interface. One example of this is the ability to name our models in Blender. Let's take the cube object for example, which is our default object in Blender whenever we start a new project. You can find the name of the cube here in the corner of the 3D viewport. You can also find it here in the outliner panel, and you can even find it here in the properties panel under the object properties tab. You can name your objects from various locations, but the most common of which is going to be the outliner panel. To rename your object, simply double left click on its name, and then you can type in a new name for that model. For example, I'm going to name my cube as box and press enter. You will notice that the name has changed in the outliner panel, and it's actually been reorganized based on alphabetical order. It's also visible in our object properties tab and here in the corner of the 3D viewport. The second method of changing the name of your selected object is within the properties panel. So just left click on the name right here and you'll be able to rename the object again. This time I'm going to name it as default cube 1 and then press enter. Once again, in the various locations you can see that the name has been changed. The third method of changing the name of your selected object is to use a special hotkey in the 3D viewport. Press the F2 button on top of your keyboard and this will bring up an object name prompt for your selection. You now have the ability to use backspace and then type in your new name within the 3D viewport. I'm just going to go back to my traditional cube name and press enter, and it reverts the name back to cube in each of the 3 locations of the Blender UI. These are the 3 main ways in which we can name objects in Blender.